This is a magic jar that can grant all your desires. As long as you are willing to pay with your deepest, most cherished desire, you can trade it for the chance to become a superhuman with a demon body. A black witch who hates turning back into a cat. A disfigured female streamer who eventually turns into a stunning succubus. A three-headed hellhound that hates being imprisoned. And a talking raven. And as the master of this magic jar, I can enslave the souls of all demons. This man runs a century-old pharmacy, yet no customer is ever seen entering it. But its business is unbelievably booming. After every customer visits, they not only gain immortality, but also acquire strange supernatural powers. Right now, a woman with a very distinct appearance just walked into the shop. "Sir, I want to buy beauty medication. I heard the medicine here works really well," the woman asked nervously, testing the waters. Li Yang glanced at the rows of medicine cabinets filling the room. Then he looked back at the woman. He said seriously, "My medicine costs a fortune. Are you prepared to bear the price that comes with it?" At these words, the woman's eyes lit up instantly, because she knew she had come to the right place. With that thought, she quickly took off her mask. "As long as I can become beautiful, no matter what price I have to pay, I'm willing to do it." Hearing this, Li Yang closed the book in his hand and walked unhurriedly into the medicine decocting room. But when Li Yang stepped into the decocting room and saw the mysterious jar sitting on the table, he frowned slightly. "This jar, I got it from a deranged old beggar. As a casual purchase, he said this magic jar can absorb desires and use them to make desire potions. Anyone who drinks a desire potion will have their desires fulfilled, but at the same time, their souls will be under the control of the magic jar's master, and the master can make the drinker suffer excruciating pain at any time." I was doubtful at first. Took my domestic black cat as my first test subject. Sure enough, after that black cat drank the desire potion made for it, it transformed from a harmless black cat into a legendary black witch. So after this incident, I felt like I saw a chance for myself to break free from the shackles of being at the bottom of society. So I opened and ran this pharmacy. Thinking of this, Li Yang walked out of the decocting room with a medicine bowl in hand. To avoid unnecessary trouble, I'll confirm one more time. "Are you really willing to pay any price to become beautiful?" The woman nodded firmly. "As long as the birthmark is gone, as long as I'm beautiful, I can sign with a big guild, get millions of loyal fans, and escape poverty completely." Li Yang nodded when he heard this. He handed the bowl of medicine to the woman. The woman took the medicine, tilted her head back, and chugged it all down. Then something unbelievable and magical happened. The birthmark on the woman's face disappeared at a speed visible to the naked eye. Her entire face became fair and smooth, and her features even became more delicate. But this was just the beginning. Her plump waist was shrinking continuously. Her stubby, rough legs gradually turned into fair, slender, long legs. She stared at her reflection in the mirror in complete shock. "Oh my god, this face is even prettier than with beauty filters on," Zhang Xiai exclaimed in a daze of ecstasy. But just then, a sudden change occurred. She realized in horror. Her pupils were slowly turning into pink heart shapes. A pair of goat horns grew out of her head. Her lower abdomen glowed with purple light, and mysterious magic patterns appeared. Something wiggled behind her. A black tail actually poked out from under her short skirt. The tip of the tail was shaped like a black heart. The woman screamed in terror when she saw this. Then she looked at Li Yang in fear. "What did you do to me?" Li Yang frowned at her words. "Didn't you say you were willing to pay any price?" The woman's eyes went wide. Her mind was completely consumed by fear. She started running towards the door. Li Yang watched her in annoyance. A succubus who hasn't lifted her demon form, running out into the street carelessly like that. Does she want to get herself into trouble? Or get me into trouble? With that thought, black runes gradually appeared in Li Yang's eyes. The woman who had run to the door suddenly froze. She felt another change was happening to her right now. Her hands suddenly became extremely old and wrinkled. Wrinkles and age spots also started to spread across her beautiful, pretty face at a rapid pace. No, I don't want to look like this," the woman begged. "Forgive me for my rudeness. I just started streaming. I have no money on me right now, but I can owe you 10 million. No, more than 10 million. I'll give you whatever you want." Before the woman could finish speaking, Li Yang leaned down with a serious face. He said, "Your soul will be enslaved by me from now on. That's the price of this bowl of medicine." Hearing this, the woman nodded quickly. "I'm willing. I'll do anything." Hearing this, Li Yang willed the black runes in his eyes to slowly fade away. Zhang Xiai quickly looked in the mirror again. She found herself slowly turning back into the young succubus form. She let out a long sigh of relief, even though she was back to her succubus form. Did she have to stay in this form forever? As soon as this thought crossed her mind, the woman felt like there was some kind of switch inside her. With a single thought, she gradually returned to her normal appearance. Just then, Li Yang said coldly, "You can leave now." The woman quickly got up and left after hearing this. After Zhang Xiai left, Li Yang went up to the bedroom on the second floor. Right now, a girl who looked about 15 or 16 years old was lying on the bed, and this girl was the black cat he used for his first experiment. "Yaoling, you're back?" Li Yang ignored her. Instead, he opened the drawer, took out a notebook. He wrote down, "Second experiment. Human desire is limited. Subject turned into a succubus. It can be basically confirmed that anyone who takes the potion will have their desire fulfilled and turn into a demon at the same time. Can I take the potion myself?" The desire potion made from other people's desires. Further experiments are needed. Li Yang paused after writing this. He turned to Yao Lin and ordered, "Keep looking for people with strong desire energy. Animals are fine too." At the same time, in an apartment in Lanhai City, Zhang Xiai sat in front of her computer, still in shock. Her phone kept pinging with group chat notifications. "Why haven't you started streaming yet?" The top donor saw her bare face photo. He's already bailed as fast as he can. The stream group has been full of messages like this lately, along with all kinds of memes made from her bare face photos. A lot of people were even cursing her to die. Zhang Xiai glanced at the mirror. It was a face so beautiful, even she was mesmerized by it. She touched her own face. She murmured obsessively, "Why not just accept it? Enjoy the privileges that this beauty brings." With that thought, she started her stream. 10,000 people joined the stream right after she went live. The malicious comments popped up in the barrage instantly. "You're so ugly, why are you even streaming? Ugly bitch, turn off the beauty filter." But Zhang Xiai didn't pay much attention to them. Instead, she started her act. She pretended to be a victim, sobbing weakly in front of the audience. The barrage in the live room got even more rampant after seeing this. "So fake. That's so disgusting. Ugly as hell, but you sure have a lot of silly tricks." Right at this moment, Zhang Xiai saw that the atmosphere was just right. Then she let out a sigh. "All right, I'll turn off the beauty filter right now," she said. "Don't bash me, everyone." When the beauty filter was completely turned off, all bullet comments in the live stream vanished instantly. No one said a word in the live room with 50 to 60,000 viewers. It was dead silent, eerily so. Those charming eyes and brows, that exquisite face, those tempting red lips. In front of their screens watching the stream, every male viewer felt like Zhang Xiai had stepped right out of the screen. Looking at them with that wronged, pitiful expression, a strong sense of guilt welled up in all of them at the same time. And a small bunch of bold viewers quietly grabbed a tissue, stuck one hand under the covers. "Holy shit, the streamer is actually this gorgeous. Then why the hell did she even use the beauty filter?" Right after that, a flood of gifs popped up in the live stream. Seeing this scene, a faint smile tugged at the corner of Zhang Xiai's mouth. But just as Zhang Xiai was about to say something, suddenly a mysterious piece of information appeared in her mind. Succubus talent. Heart of the succubus. Heart of the succubus. When a male feels lust towards a succubus, the succubus can absorb that male's mental power talent. Flame of lust. Consume mental power to unleash supernatural fire. Zhang Xiai froze when she processed this. What does this mean? I can not only make money from live streaming, but also get stronger. At the same time, in front of a building in the old town, Liang got out of the car with Yao Ling, but suddenly a hollow bell rang in his mind. Acquired shared mental power. Mental power has advanced to level 2. Shared mental power. Zhang Xiai must have done something. Li Yang thought to himself, does that mean when the demons I create gain mental power, I get a share of that mental power too? He carefully felt out the changes brought by this level 2 mental power. He was shocked to find that his 5 senses had been enhanced. He could see almost perfectly clearly in the dark. So Li Yang looked around happily, enjoying the magical effects of level 2 mental power. But his gaze suddenly froze. He squinted at the trash bin not far away. In the darkness, there was a dark figure radiating the power of desire all over its body. It was a black stray dog. Li Yang walked over towards it, snatched half a ham sausage from Yao Ling's hand, waved it in front of the black dog. Want to eat? Follow me if you do. After Li Yang said that, turned around and walked towards the stairwell entrance. The black dog, who hadn't eaten anything for ages, its eyes immediately lit up with greed. It lifted its paw carefully, tucked its tail between its legs, whimpered quietly, and followed Li Yang. Back in the rental apartment, Li Yang placed the demon jar of desire on the table, then went to the kitchen to get a piece of meat and came back. He squatted on the ground and stared straight at the black dog. Black runes appeared in his eyes. Speak your desire, and this piece of meat is yours. The black dog seemed to understand what he said. It wagged its tail nonstop. Drool kept dripping from the corner of its mouth. Bark twice. A faint smile appeared on Li Yang's face. Threw the meat on the ground. Let the black dog gnaw on it as it pleased. He walked over to the desk, hands holding the demon jar of desire. He put the black energy obtained from the black dog into the demon jar of desire. Before long, the desire potion was formed. Li Yang poured the desire potion into the crow's water trough. The crow tilted its head, lowered its head and started drinking the desire potion. Then Li Yang took most of the remaining desire potion, poured it into a bowl, placed it in front of the stray dog. After finishing all this, Li Yang lit a cigarette, quietly waiting for the changes in the stray dog and the crow. This is the third experiment, to see what happens when the desire potion is shared and consumed. Soon after, the black dog drank all the desire potion. The wounds on its body started to heal. Its fur turned jet black and shiny. The black dog's body was growing in size, until its head hit the ceiling. The growth process finally stopped. Then huge bulges grew on both sides of its head. 2 more black dog heads emerged from the bulges. It was actually a Cerberus, the Hellhound. The Cerberus took a step towards Li Yang. The whole room shook. Saliva dripped from its mouths. It wanted to swallow Li Yang whole. But right at this moment, a spine-chilling sharp cry rang out in the room. The Cerberus followed the sound and looked at the bird cage by the window. The crow inside the cage was flapping its wings anxiously. It squeezed out of the bird cage, flew in front of Li Yang, standing guard firmly to protect him. Li Yang's scarlet eyes stared unflinchingly at the Cerberus. Then black mist wrapped around its body. It transformed into an intangible venomous snake. Li Yang looked at the crow in a daze. According to legend, Cerberus is the demon that guards the gates of hell. It has 3 heads and is wrapped in venomous snakes. But the Cerberus in front of him has no snakes wrapped around its body. Instead, the power ended up with the crow. Could it be because the crow drank some of the desire potion and took away part of the power that originally belonged to the Cerberus? Li Yang saw that after the crow gained demon power, it still didn't betray him. This performance made him feel a little touched. He patted the crow's head, pulled Yao Ling behind him. Then black runes appeared in his eyes. He stared fiercely at the Cerberus. I saw that under the Cerberus's feet. Huge chains suddenly sprung out of thin air. The iron chains pierced through its paws and nailed it firmly to the ground. Li Yang ordered softly, turn back to normal. As soon as he finished speaking, the Cerberus whimpered and turned back into an ordinary black dog, its tail tucked between its legs. It hung its head and didn't dare to move at all, because it knew, in this house, it was at the very bottom of the pecking order. At this time, Yao Ling, who was standing aside, thought for a while, and said, this crow is called Dehei. Then you can be called Xiaohei. Li Yang, let's name him Xiaohei. What do you think? Whatever. Li Yang sat down in front of the desk, lit a cigarette, and started thinking. The desire potion can be shared and consumed by multiple beings. This is definitely great news for him, because this means Li Yang can also possess demon power. If I become a demon, I will definitely be the strongest demon ever. The fact that the desire potion can be shared also means he can create more high-quality demon servants. Suddenly, a flash of inspiration hit Li Yang. A brand new idea popped up in his mind. If I can turn elites from all walks of life into my own servants, what an immense amount of power that would be. At that time, I can also establish an organization called the Demon Club. Thinking of this, Li Yang's heart started pounding wildly. His blood was boiling all over his body. Time moved on to evening. Li Yang glanced at the clock hanging on the wall. It was already 5:30. No one has come yet. Did Yao Ling lie to me?
Just when he was confused,
The wind chime at the door suddenly rang. Li Yang's eyes narrowed slightly. The person looked around 20 years old. He reeked of a decadent vibe. Li Yang asked first, what can I get you? The introverted Liu Cheng heard this, stuttered and told his story. After listening to his story, Li Yang put down the book in his hand. This pharmacy doesn't only sell things. We also buy things. Collect some stuff I really like. You have a very strong desire. I really like your desire. Give your desire to me. In exchange, I'll fix the trouble you're in right now. Tell me what your desire is. Liu Cheng blurted out without thinking. I want people to be afraid of me. Li Yang was stunned for a moment when he heard that. He thought Liu Cheng would say something like, kill that sworn enemy of his or whatever. Turns out he just wanted people to fear him. All right, your desire is mine now. Deal. You can leave now. Hearing that, Liu Cheng nodded in a daze and walked out of the herbal shop feeling lost. After Liu Cheng had left completely, Li Yang instructed Yao Ling, who was binge-watching shows next to him. Follow that kid! Oh right, erase his memory when you're done. Yao Ling scratched her cat ears awkwardly after getting the order. Then she flashed and disappeared from the other side of the shop. After Liu Cheng left the shop, he headed towards his home. When he walked into a pitch-dark alley, several thugs blocked his way. The leader of these thugs was a young man dressed in luxury. Zhou Hong, what are you doing here? Zhou Hong lit a cigarette and said unhurriedly, do you have any idea how much trouble you dumbass have caused me? Liu Cheng clenched his fists. All the pent-up anger burst out at once. Zhou Hong, what did I ever do to you? Why are you messing with me like this? Why won't you leave me alone? Hearing that, Zhou Hong blew out a puff of smoke. Because it's fun. If I don't pick on you, I'll pick on someone else. It just so happens that someone is you. Liu Cheng's eyes widened in shock. That's your ridiculous reason? Is that seriously it? Aren't you afraid of karma? Aren't you scared I'll get back at you someday? Zhou Hong sneered when he heard that. Someday? Put! You don't have a someday. Liu Cheng froze. What do you mean? Is Zhou Hang gonna beat me to death? Liu Cheng stepped back slowly, leaned against the wall and breathed heavily. Zhou Hang, if you kill me, you won't get away with it. Someone will cover for me if something goes wrong. Zhou Hang walked towards him slowly. Liu Cheng continued. Besides, I smashed all the security cameras around here. Who's gonna know I did it? Right at that moment, a soft, sweet voice came from the alley entrance. So you're the one who broke all the cameras. That saves me the trouble. I don't really like killing people, actually. As an elegant witch, the stench of blood is such a nuisance. Hearing that, Zhou Hang, his face fell, and shouted angrily, Who's there? He whipped his head towards the end of the alley. His expression turned weird. A black cat was walking towards them gracefully. What kind of monster is that? Someone yelled out in panic. The thugs scattered in all directions. A human-like sneer appeared in the black cat's eyes. Its body started growing bigger gradually, until it was as big as a black panther. After letting out a sharp roar, it turned into a black god of death. Recklessly taking the lives of the thugs, Zhou Hang ran the fastest. He was almost out of the alley. But the black cat looked at Zhou Hang's back playfully. Its paw was stained with a thug's blood. It drew a pattern on the ground, then placed the cigarette butt Zhou Hang threw away in the middle of the pattern. Zhou Hang suddenly stopped in his tracks and started banging his head against the wall like he was possessed, until his skull was completely crushed. After the black cat finished all this, its purple eyes stared at the terrified, frozen Liu Cheng. A faint purple light burst out from its eyes. Liu Cheng's eyes became dazed. Then he continued walking towards the alley entrance blankly. At the same time, inside the rental apartment, Li Yang opened the locked cabinet and took out the demonic jar of desire. Runes flashed in his eyes. Thick power of desire poured into the demonic jar of desire. The jar was immediately filled with thick black fog, which gradually liquefied into a potion. Tonight he would embark on the path of transcendence. Li Yang lifted the demonic jar of desire, tilted his head back and chugged all the desire potion down his throat. Then he put down the empty jar and waited quietly for the transformation to happen. Gradually, he noticed his body temperature was getting lower and lower, and his power was growing like crazy. Suddenly, Li Yang looked shocked and touched his chest where his heart was. His skin temperature kept dropping. His heart had actually stopped beating. Li Yang quickly turned to look in the mirror. He saw all the changes happening to his body clearly. The color was draining from his skin at a visible rate. He stared hard at his reflection in the mirror. Looks like a dead person. A corpse, basically. So, the power of this desire potion turns people into hell undead. He could feel his bones had become extremely hard. He had immense strength. He could break through a wall easily. Right at this moment, runes appeared eerily in both his eyes. The runes glowed with a faint black light. Then the black runes wrapped around his entire body. Under normal circumstances, the desire potion would have already turned Li Yang into a transcendent creature. so the transformation should be over. But the black runes in his eyes were continuing the transformation. Soon Li Yang was wrapped in that mysterious black light. Like a cocoon. Li Yang frowned inside the cocoon. Is it because I'm the master of the demons? That's why a second transformation is happening. After a while, Li Yang broke out of the cocoon. His mysterious new appearance made Little Black and Big Black, who were standing nearby, drop to their knees and prostrate themselves on the ground. Because Li Yang no longer looked human at all, he looked at his reflection in the mirror. He had turned completely into a skeleton, right at that moment. A piece of mysterious information appeared in his mind. King of Hell, God of Death. The God of Death is a supreme rank demon. Mental power rank. You gain a new talent every time you rank up. When the God of Death's mental power exceeds rank 9, you will officially become a god and gain divine authority. After absorbing the information, Li Yang started thinking, I'm a newborn God of Death now. Once I reach rank 9 and become a god, I'll get divine authority. Are there angels in this world then? Before he could think further, more mysterious information kept pouring into his mind. Rank, mental power, second rank talent, demon law. The God of Death's source of power and immortality. Both come from demons. Talent, creation. Undead can cast spells on corpses to create mindless undead slaves. After receiving this information, Li Yang canceled his demon form, sat down on the chair, and fell deep in thought. He remembered, demons have unique ways to increase their mental power. For example, succubi can increase their mental power by absorbing lust. As for his own way to rank up his mental power, it's the increase in the number of demons and the growth of their power. As long as there are demons in the world, he is immortal. Then Li Yang thought of his second talent. Creating one undead requires one corpse. But where am I supposed to get a corpse? I can send the Black Hounds and the others to kill people, but I don't dare let them bring the corpses to any location for me to use undead creation. After all, those people from the Public Security Bureau aren't idiots. They will definitely track it back to me. Besides, I don't have full confidence in taking on the Public Security Bureau. The fully armed military officer squad, Cerberus might flip over a few armored vehicles and take out a couple of military officers wielding heavy firearms. But that won't work against far more armored vehicles and heavy firepower. The levels of these few demons are way too low right now. Right now, I should focus on developing first and get the first member of the Demon Club first. And it has to be someone with great influence who can help me get a lot of things done. After all, in the future, I will definitely do a lot of things that break social rules. Thinking of this, Li Yang frowned slightly. Where can I find that kind of high-quality member? Rely on that cat. Li Yang tapped his fingers lightly on the table. His brain was working non-stop. Suddenly his gaze froze. He thought of a place. Blue Ocean Greenery Sanatorium. The clients there are all wealthy families from all over the place. With my talent for creating undead, I can turn a seriously ill person into a living dead. Then my operations will go extremely smoothly. The next evening, in a suite of Nanhai Greenery Sanatorium, right now, there is a charming woman in a hospital gown, lying on the bed, and two men are arguing loudly in front of the bed. They are Su Yutang's elder brother and younger brother. They want to take away the property she worked so hard to build before she dies. Looking at this extremely ironic scene, Su Yutang cleared her throat weakly. I'm thirsty. I want some water. Pour me a glass of water, please. But after she finished speaking, the two brothers acted as if they hadn't heard a thing. Uxiang walked up to Su Yutang and complained, Yutang, you be the judge? I'm the only one in the family who treats you the best. I was the one who paid for you to recuperate here. Besides, I'm the eldest son of the family. It's only reasonable that Deitai should be inherited by me after you die. Have you no shame? Didn't all your money come from my sister? How dare you say you paid for my sister's recuperation here, when it's her money? Hearing this, the third son refused to back down and said, Sis, I've worked in the company for so many years. I know Deitai better than anyone else. Deitai should be handed over to me. With that, the two brothers both glanced at Su Yutang out of the corner of their eyes. When they saw she said nothing, they walked out of the ward and started fighting with each other. Seeing this, Su Yutang was filled with despair. She slowly sat up, leaned against the head of the bed, and pressed the call bell for a long time, hoping a nurse would come and pour her a glass of water. But no one came in for ages. She knew it was probably because her elder and younger brothers were wary of each other, afraid the other would get close to her first. So they locked down this ward But just then, the chandelier in the room started flickering violently. Right after that, a man appeared in front of Su Yutang's bed. Seeing this, Su Yutang tensed up immediately. "Who are you?" Su Yutang hid her hand under the quilt, as if she could pull out something at any moment. But the man just walked over to the water dispenser, poured a glass of water, and walked slowly towards her. Su Yutang stared at the man intently, and took the glass warily. Suddenly, Su Yutang's pupils shrank sharply. She saw something absolutely terrifying. When the man in black handed her the water, she saw that peeking out of his sleeve was not a normal wrist, but a bare bone. Su Yutang was horrified. "Who on earth are you? Did I scare you? I'm so sorry. Let me introduce myself. I'm a ferryman wandering on the edge of the human world and hell. Humans like to call me Li Yang." He paused, lifted the brim of his hat slightly, and slowly spoke the last two words. "Grim Reaper." After he finished speaking, Su Yutang looked at Li Yang in shock. How can a skeleton move? How can it talk? And it even casually claims to be the Grim Reaper. The level of shock made Su Yutang lose the ability to think, and lose the ability to speak. Li Yang glanced at the watch on his wrist, and said unhurriedly, "Your time is running out. Is there anything you want to say?" Hearing this, Su Yutang opened her mouth wide, breathing rapidly. "The Grim Reaper actually exists. Am I going to die? No, I won't accept this. My life's work, the hard work of 5 generations of the Su family, will all end up benefiting those 2 brothers in the end." So Su Yutang quickly suppressed the fear in her heart, and said seriously, "Grim Reaper, can I not die? Give me a reason." Hearing this, Su Yutang looked at the Grim Reaper hurriedly. "There's a chance, as long as I can offer something that moves the Grim Reaper. I can live, but what can possibly move the Grim Reaper?" "So Su Tang begged with a hint of confusion. "I have nothing but worldly possessions. Nothing else at all. All I have left is my humble soul and absolute loyalty." Little did she know, what Su Yutang offered was exactly what Li Yang wanted. A servant who was scared out of her wits by him, desperately wanted his favor, and was 100% loyal. Li Yang then fixed his gaze on Su Yutang. "Soul and loyalty, huh? You're in luck. I happen to have an errand right now that needs a suitable person to handle it." Hearing this, Su Yutang was overjoyed. "There's an errand for a suitable person. If I take this errand, does that mean I don't have to die?" Seeing this, Su Yutang immediately dragged her weak body and knelt on the ground. "My lord, no matter what the errand is, I beg for your protection. Give Yutang a chance." Li Yang looked Su Yutang up and down. "I've been wanting to move around the human world lately, and I'm lacking a servant to handle matters for me here. You fit the bill perfectly. Yutang will definitely serve you with all her heart and effort," she responded in a trembling voice. After hearing her reply, Li Yang raised his hand and sent the power of death from his fingertips towards Su Yutang. As the power of death slowly entered Su Yutang's body, the heavy dead energy in her body merged with the power of death, slowly transforming Su Yutang's body. Su Yutang felt the changes in her body. All her pain and illness had disappeared, and she was even filled with strength all over. "This is the power of the Grim Reaper." Su Yutang lifted her head excitedly. "Thank you for your mercy, my lord." Li Yang leaned down and said slowly,
Thank yourself instead.
"You are of some use to me, so I have temporarily spared you from death. If you disappoint me, I will drag you down to hell with my own hands." His cold, menacing tone made Su Yutang's face turn pale instantly. She swallowed hard and said seriously, "Please give me your orders at any time. Solve your own problems first. My apostle will come to see you in a week." With that, the lights in the suite dimmed again, and Li Yang slowly disappeared from the ward. Not long after, Li Yang returned to his rental apartment. He lay on the sofa and lit a cigarette leisurely. "Once Su Yutang stabilizes the Su family's situation, I can officially assign tasks to her. If she completes the tasks excellently, I don't mind continuing to provide her with the power of death to extend her life. I can also grant her the desire potion, so she can obtain demon power. Talents like Su Yutang, if they are only used as a cash cow, it would be such a waste. After all, in the treacherous business world, he built Nanhai to what it is today. That just shows how capable he is." Thinking of this, Li Yang's eyes lit up slightly. He realized something that was extremely important for the Demon Club. There will be lots of demons in the Demon Club in the future. Demons will always use their demonic powers, leaving traces belonging to demons in this world. If that's the case, It's easy for people with ulterior motives to find out. Since demon traces can't be avoided, we need someone to erase those traces. First of all, this person has to be extremely well connected. They also need to have great capabilities. Isn't Su Yutang just the right person for this? Besides, Su Yutang can't do this all by herself, so I need to assign some subordinates to her. My undead subordinates are the most suitable choice. That said, Su Yutang is not only the first member of the Demon Club, she's also in charge of all the logistics and aftermath work for the club. She's the demon butler of the Demon Club. Hope she won't let me down. Just then, there was a knock on the door. Yaoling poked her little head in sneakily. Li Yang, I'm reporting that Crow stayed out all night. Speaking of this, Li Yang also found it weird. Ever since Crow became transcendent, she's been running around everywhere. She even followed me to Levine Sanatorium today. But all in all, Crow is still very obedient, so I'm not worried about her safety. Then Li Yang paused for a moment and said, I know about this. Find me some orphans who are seriously ill. Yaoling nodded in response. Okay, as long as I can watch dramas, I'll do anything you ask. At the same time, on Hepping Square in downtown Nanhai, right now, Crow is standing on top of the mall building looking around. With one caw from her, waves of cooing sounds rose across the whole square. Hundreds of pigeons flapped their wings. Standing quietly on the square, this crow has already become the king of these pigeons. Crow flapped her wings and flew towards the park in the distance, and the pigeons also flapped their wings one after another, following closely behind Crow's figure. The next day, inside the Nanhai D-Tai Group building, a short Japanese man was holding up his wine glass and said with a smile, President Su, I'd like to congratulate you in advance for becoming the director of Nanhai D-Tai Group. Hearing this, Su Guangming also raised his wine glass to respond. Thank you so much for your help, Mr. Kuroki. Su Guangming is the third son of the Su family, Su Yutang's younger brother. He's always been a nepo baby working in the company. The man sitting in front of him is called Kuroki Misawa. He's the heir of the East British Kuroki family. At the same time, he's also a senior executive of God Creation Biogenetic Technology Company from the UK. Then Kuroki Misawa said with a sneer, I helped you become the chairman of D-Tai Group. Don't forget what you promised me. Don't forget what you promised me. Don't worry. As long as we're in the Nanhai Development Zone, even if you poke a hole in the sky, I can patch it up for you. After saying that, a hint of worry appeared in Su Guangming's eyes. The thing is, if Su Yutang dies, will they really not trace this back to us? Hey, the poison we gave Su Yutang is a product of God Creation Biotech. Her organs will age and deteriorate rapidly. No matter how the forensic doctor examines her, it will look like a natural death. As the saying goes in your Xia country, this is called falling ill from overwork. Su Guangming laughed out loud when he heard this, and raised the champagne in his hand. That woman didn't know what's good for her. She deserves to die. The sooner she dies, the better. But just then, the phone in the office rang. It was a call from Nanhai Levine Sanatorium. Is Su Yutang dead already? Su Guangming picked up the phone quickly. Hello, how is my sister? Before Su Guangming could even get excited, 2:30, his eyes gradually changed from excited to shocked. Seeing this, Kuroki Misawa frowned unconsciously. What's wrong? Su Guangming swallowed and said dully, Su Yutang, she's not dead, and she's already driving towards the development zone. Hearing this, Kuroki Misawa flashed a hint of murderous intent in his eyes. Then kill her, on her way here. Kill someone in the street. Su Guangming hesitated for a moment. How about we find another chance to poison her? No, my plan can't be delayed. Don't worry, I'll arrange everything properly. With that, Kuroki Misawa walked out of the office. At the same time, on the viaduct, a red Ferrari was speeding wildly. Su Yutang's eyes were filled with excitement. She had never felt so good before. Her reaction speed was amazing now. It felt like every inch of nerve in her body was completely under her brain's control. Is this the gift from the god of death? This feeling of being full of power made her scream out involuntarily. But just as the car passed the intersection, a heavy truck suddenly ran a red light and crashed towards her. Seeing this, Su Yutang reacted quickly. Tapped the gas, hit the brake, turned the steering wheel. All done in one smooth motion. The red Ferrari avoided the heavy truck's collision. As a result, the heavy truck slammed hard into the pillar supporting the viaduct. Su Yutang stopped the car and walked towards the heavy truck. At this time, a bald big man got out of the car cursing. You stupid bitch, how do you drive? Think you're tough just because you drive a fancy car? Su Yutang stopped, looking at the big man warily. After becoming a living dead, Her observation ability was very strong. She clearly caught the movement changes of the driver's facial muscles. The driver looked nervous, violent, with a face full of murderous intent. The bald big man swung his fist and smashed it straight at Su Yutang's head. But Su Yutang was already prepared. She twisted her body to avoid the bald man's attack and swiftly kicked the big man in the chest. The bald big man was kicked 5 or 6 meters away directly. Su Yutang was shocked in her heart. Her strength had actually reached this level. However, the bald big man still refused to give up. He took a pill out of his pocket and swallowed it. Then the bald man's blood energy rose rapidly. His eyes were full of red blood streaks. He pounced towards Su Yutang again. This time he was faster, and his strength was stronger. But for Su Yutang, who was the favorite of the god of death, the drugged bald man was still no match for her. Su Yutang was like a master martial artist right now, and moved forward to meet the attack. After fighting with the big man for 5 minutes, the big man suddenly covered his chest, spat out a mouthful of blood, and fell to the ground twitching. Seeing this, Su Yutang didn't react much. She just took out her phone and dialed a number, Xiao Wang. Come to Beigang Road. Soon an Audi appeared outside the accident scene. The driver Xiao Wang saw Su Yutang and said with surprise, President Su, why didn't you let me pick you up? You handle this place. I'm going back to the company now. Oh, right, let me know about this man's physical condition. Even if he dies, get me an autopsy report. With that, Su Yutang left the place. At the same time, in the bird area of Nanhai Zoo, many rioting birds suddenly appeared. They were pecking crazily at the protective net of the bird area. With a loud caw from the leading black crow, the flock of birds tore open the protective net. Many tourists saw this scene and panicked one after another. They're releasing their kind. No way is this scene. Rise of the Planet of the Birds. Soon the security vehicles showed up in the zoo. That's so weird. Where did all these birds come from? The security team captain froze. He hurriedly gave orders to the fire squad. Tell them to turn on the water valve. Use the water cannons to spray them away. Soon several firefighters brought over the water cannons connected to the fire truck. As the water swept over the birds, they squawked in panic. The flock was dispersed right then. And this tragic scene was fully witnessed by a crow hiding on a tree branch. Taking in every detail, the crow opened its beak. Damn it, my great black empire. My loyal subjects are done for just like that. Turns out all the crow's actions were because it learned violence and bloodlust from Yao Ling, and how to recruit underlings from Li Yang. That's how this whole farce today came to be. Suddenly the crow snapped its gaze to the bottom of the tree. There under the tree, a man in a black trench coat was staring right at it. The crow's pupils shrank in shock. It flapped its wings and stuffed itself into the inner pocket of the man's trench coat. Li Yang stared carefully at the crow. Who would have thought this crow can actually talk? I really underestimated this little guy. Li Yang tapped the crow's head. If you cause trouble again next time, I'll pluck all your feathers out. The crow tucked its head in when it heard that. A faint look of fear flashed in its eyes. Meanwhile, Director Liu Ziqian, who had just returned from the zoo, was sitting in the conference room with a worried look on his face. Xinghua Alley, large feline attack case hasn't been cleared up yet, and now we have this bird flock attack incident. Do they really not want me to retire peacefully? Just then, Wei Min, the archives director who's a huge novel fan, spoke up. He guessed, is it possible that demons and monsters are reviving? If that's the case, we can connect all these recent incidents together. Liu Ziqian froze for a second. What did you say? Elaborate on that. It is said that there were demons and monsters on Blue Star once, but for some reason, they fell into deep sleep. In recent years, human damage to nature has gotten worse and worse, which caused those demons to wake up. Before Wei Min could finish speaking, the team captains couldn't hold it in anymore. They all burst out laughing. However, the seasoned director Liu Ziqian frowned slightly, because he thought Wei Min's theory made sense. So he took 2 antihypertensive pills, turned on his computer, and in the response to this case, typed 8 words: demon revival, abnormal incident. At the same time, in Li Yang's century-old shop, as the wind chime jingled, a muscular man walked in through the door. He had his hair slicked back, a thumb-thick gold chain around his neck, a big gold watch, and a gold Pixiu bracelet on his wrist. After Li Yang glanced at him, he greeted without frowning. What can I get you? Hearing that, the man pulled out a gold-edged business card from his bosom and placed it on the table in front of Li Yang. Oh, shit. You're really an immortal master. I've had such a hard time these days. I keep seeing my late great-grandma. My great-grandma always said, if you run into trouble you can't solve, come here. Li Yang glanced at the man after hearing that. How badly did Yao Ling torture him to end up like this? Right after that, Zhu Dejun sat down on the chair uninvited and started talking. Master, the trouble I got into is really huge. Can you help me fix it? If you can't, just tell me straight. I'll be totally honest with you, Master. I own a cultural media company, an entertainment company, and more than 40 bathhouses. On top of that, I also own the largest Emperor nightclub in Nanhai. Put it simply, I'm the biggest player in Nanhai's entertainment industry, so you must know my line of work is a bit on the gray side. I've offended a lot of people over the years. I ran into a pretty tricky thing lately. I got into a conflict with a big shot named Zhou Qing. His son died a few days ago, and he thinks I did it. So he's been like a mad dog, taking revenge on me. Of course I didn't take it lying down. I hit back right away. But as the situation developed, Zhou Qing somehow got support from some mysterious power, and many of my top leaders died, at home for no apparent reason. I suspect I've been haunted by some evil spirit. So I followed my great-grandma's guidance and came here. After Zhu Dejun finished telling his story, Li Yang's face took on a strange expression. Zhou Qing's son is Zhou Hang? Master, you are truly a miracle worker. He spoke again carefully. I've been so unlucky lately. Can you solve this? Sure, but it's very expensive. Don't worry, Master. I, Zhu Dejun, don't have much else. But I've got loads of money. 100 or 200,000 is no problem at all. Hearing that, Li Yang let out a scoff and stopped looking at him. Zhu Dejun frowned. How about this? You name your price. There are two options. First, I want 100 million yuan, plus your desire. I'll protect you for a week. Second, I want your Emperor nightclub, and you have to swear allegiance to me. I'll protect you for the rest of your life. If Zhu Dejun chose the first option, Li Yang would send a demon to protect him for a week, then have Yao Ling erase his memory. That would count as a valid demon deal. He would get 100 million yuan, plus the power of Zhu Dejun's desire. As for the second option, the Emperor nightclub would become the physical location of the demon club, and Zhu Dejun would become a member of the demon club. Either way, Li Yang wouldn't lose out. But that's not how Zhu Dejun saw it at all. Zhu Dejun looked at Li Yang like he was an idiot, then turned around and left. Swear allegiance to you. Are you being serious? Even if my great-grandma came to me herself about this, I still wouldn't do it. After Zhu Dejun left, Yao Ling ran downstairs holding a tablet. She propped her chin on the counter and said, You're asking for too much. You scared him off. You could have just turned him into a demon, then done whatever you want with him. By then, not only would all his property be yours, even his wife would be yours. But Li Yang shook his head. Collecting desire requires sincerity from both sides. Zhu Dejun has to speak his true desire from the bottom of his heart. Take the female streamer Zheng Xiai, for example. Would she tell everyone she meets that she wants to be prettier, scaring Zhu Dejun by turning into the god of death to make him speak his truest inner desire, is worse than making him come to me and beg on his own, bit by bit, to make this demon deal. Once they step foot in this shop, there's no way they won't come back. After all, we have the capture power of the Dark Witch, plus Zhu Dejun's own desire driving him. It's only a matter of time before he comes back. At the same time, Zhu Dejun returned to his villa. A white-haired young man bowed and said, Boss, everything's arranged. The entire villa, inside and out, is guarded by our best men. You can rest easy tonight. All right, Lang, head to the club first. Come back and wake me up after midnight. We'll go to the apartment in Honglu Bay. The white-haired young man froze for a second when he heard that. Boss, let me stay here with you. I'm worried about you being here alone. Nonsense. Tonight, President Su from Ditai Group is holding a banquet at Emperor Club. It's fine if I don't show up. But are you gonna skip it too and not even say hello? The white-haired young man didn't dare say anything more after that. All right, I'll be back in 5 hours. 1 a.m., Zhu Dejun was fast asleep, sleeping soundly. But when he turned over, his hand touched something furry and damp. Zhu Dejun woke up instantly. He reached for the gun under his pillow and scanned the surroundings quickly. He saw 2 disemboweled wolfhounds lying beside him. Blood stained the sheet's quilt cover and his pajamas red. He got out of bed slowly and walked out of the bedroom carefully with the gun. Zhu Dejun's eyes widened in horror, only to find bodies of men in black all over the place outside the door. Is this a ghost? Suddenly he heard footsteps coming from downstairs. Ju Dajun immediately grabbed the gun tighter, his eyes fixed firmly on the stairwell. But when he saw the person coming was his second-in-command, Feng Lang. He finally let out a sigh of relief. Feng Lang was also staring at everything in horror right now. He was speechless for a long time looking at Ju Dajun. No matter how many bloody scenes he had seen before, what happened here today would be etched in his memory forever. Then Ju Dajun walked downstairs without saying a word, only to find a line of words written on the wall. Ju Dajun, surrender all your properties and mourn for me for 10 years, and I will spare your life. The other side wrote this line so blatantly, which meant they had absolute confidence. What happened tonight was probably just a warning. Thinking of this, Ju Dajun walked towards the door immediately. After Ju Dajun got into the car, Feng Lang asked, "Boss, are we going to Causeway Bay?" "No. Go to a herbal medicine shop in the North District." Early the next morning, Li Yang walked towards the herbal shop with Xiao He. Just as he opened the door of the shop, Ju Dajun jumped out of the car immediately. He put on a flattering smile and said, "Morning? Great Immortal, you're walking the dog. Were you angry yesterday, Great Immortal?"
"I, old Jew, come to apologize to you."
Li Yang flipped through the book and asked, "Have you made up your mind?" Ju Dajun nodded solemnly upon hearing this. "I've decided to trust my great-grandmother. And you, Great Immortal, then which option do you choose?" Ju Dajun scratched his head and said, "I don't want to be anyone's underling right now, so I'll pick the first option. But that thing you call desire, I really don't get what it means. Besides, 100 million is no small sum. I need at least 3 days. Can I pay you later?" "No problem, no rush." After saying that, Li Yang waved at Xiao He. Xiao He immediately trotted over, wagging its tail. "Take it home. You can put it at the door or inside the house, either works. You'll be safe for a week. Remember, no one is allowed to stay around you this week, including the people in your car." After finishing, he ignored Ju Dajun and focused on reading his book. Seeing this, Ju Dajun, the smile on his face froze. "Great Immortal, you mean this dog is going to protect me? I spent 100 million just to buy a big black dog for myself, to guard the door for a week, but he had no other choice." In the end, Ju Dajun led Xiao He away silently and walked out of the herbal shop. A few days later, inside Ju Dajun's villa, he was sitting next to Xiao He holding a dog toy ball. "Old Ju has put his whole life and fortune in your hands. There's not a single underling in the villa. If the other side sends assassins, I'll probably die a terrible death." After saying that, Ju Dajun waved the dog toy ball in front of Xiao He, then threw it out. "Go fetch it." Xiao He ran over excitedly, picked up the ball with its mouth and waved it in front of Ju Dajun, then threw it out too. It stared at Ju Dajun and nodded its head towards the toy ball not far away, as if to say it's your turn to fetch it. Seeing this scene, Ju Dajun's mouth twitched for a long time. "Damn you, dog, you're really as smart as a human. Since you're this smart, maybe you really have some skills." Suddenly, Ju Dajun looked alert and took a pistol out of his pocket. For some time ago, a person had appeared at the stairwell without him noticing. The man was bald, wearing a set of white clothes, speaking in unskilled Mandarin. "Mr. Zhu, you've got real guts. You only have a dog by your side. Who are you?" As soon as he finished speaking, Ju Dajun pulled the trigger immediately. But a shocking scene happened. The bald man tilted his head quickly. The bullet grazed his ear and hit the wall. Seeing this, the bald man looked gloomy. "You're just as shameless as the rumors say." However, Ju Dajun narrowed his eyes and looked at the bald man. "You're the one who killed my men. Do you think I, Lord Jun, have no backup today?" "Xiao He, it's your turn. Go get him." But Xiao He completely ignored Ju Dajun's order, as if it was just wind blowing past his ears, and even looked at Ju Dajun dissatisfiedly, with an expression that said, "Why don't you go yourself?" This scene left Ju Dajun completely dumbfounded. "Damn you, dog, you're really too human-like." Seeing this situation, the bald man sneered immediately. "Playing tricks. That's no fun." As soon as he finished speaking, a kunai appeared in the bald man's hand. "Mr. Kuroki wants to cooperate with Mr. Zhou, so we have to take your head as a gift first." After saying that, the bald man held the kunai and swiped it quickly toward Ju Dajun's neck. Seeing this, Ju Dajun closed his eyes in despair, but the pain he expected never came. Ju Dajun opened his eyes curiously and was shocked to find that Xiao He had bitten the bald man's kunai with its teeth. "Master only told me to protect Ju Dajun. He didn't say I have to listen to him. Now that Ju Dajun is in danger, I should take action." At the same time, the bald man looked shocked. He tried to pull back his kunai, but found he couldn't pull it out at all. Seeing this, the bald man clenched his fist and punched Xiaohei's head again and again. Bastard, let go. But a low growl came from Xiaohei's throat, sounding like a tractor starting up, and its body size was growing little by little along with the rumbling sound. Finally, the bald man let go of the kunai in his hand and lifted his head in shock, staring at this monster. What kind of monster is this? The terrified bald man immediately trembled his hands, took a pill out of his pocket and swallowed it. He felt his body filled with power instantly. After taking the pill, the bald man immediately started moving around the room quickly, because he wanted to find a chance to escape. Xiaohui saw the bald man buzzing around like a fly, circling around him, and shook its head unhappily. Then 2 bulges appeared on both sides of its neck, followed by 2 more dog heads popping out. Now with 4 extra eyes, Xiaohui immediately locked onto the bald man, then opened its big mouth and swallowed the bald man whole in one bite. This scene made Zhu Dajun wet his pants unconsciously. His whole worldview was being shattered and rebuilt over and over again. So that's what my 100 million was spent on. Wait, if this dog is the Hell 3 headed hound, then who is that great immortal? Thinking of this, Zhu Dajun's eyes were immediately filled with ambition. Fuck, I'm such an idiot. That big shot wanted to take me as his underling. What the hell was I hesitating for? With this level of power? Never mind asking for one of my nightclubs. My life is his now. Sure enough, my great-grandma never lied to me. Thinking of this, Zhu Dajun quickly came back to his senses and flattered Xiaohei. I was being rude before, sir. Lord Xiaohei, let's go to the herbal shop again. Soon Zhu Dajun and Xiaohei returned to the herbal shop. Just at that moment, a crow flew down from upstairs. The crow tilted its head and said, "Go upstairs." When Zhu Dajun heard the crow talking, his determination to become the underling grew even stronger. Then he followed the crow up to the 2nd floor. The moment Zhu Dajun saw Li Yang, he immediately lowered his head and asked in a low voice, Who exactly are you?" But Li Yang ignored his question completely. He just stood up slowly and released the intimidating pressure of the god of death at the same time. "Looks like you're ready to hand over your desire to me. Once your desire is mine, I will erase your memory. From now on, our paths will never cross again. Never again." That's absolutely out of the question. Zhu Dajun dropped to his knees with a thud. I've drifted around for half my life and never met a wise lord. I wish to swear allegiance to you as my master. From this day forward, I will serve you loyally by your side. The Emperor Nightclub is my gift to you as a token of respect. Hearing this, Li Yang curled the corners of his mouth slightly and reached out his hand toward Zhu Dajun's head. As Li Yang slowly stretched out his hand, Zhu Dajun's body also started to change gradually. His physical body was slowly fading away. What appeared in its place was Zhu Dajun, turned into a skeleton wearing a black business shirt. Right at this moment, Li Yang's voice came from the skeleton's mouth. "Looks like you chose the second option. Tell me your desire, and I will grant you the right to be my servant." Hearing this, Zhu Dajun felt his heart pounding wildly. This must be the god of death, the legendary king of hell. After all, only a being of this level would be interested in something as abstract as desire. Therefore, Zhu Dajun spoke out the desire that was buried deep in his heart. "I've been wandering the underworld for 23 years, getting arrested by sheriffs, and living in constant fear of revenge from my enemies. I want to hide, so that no one can find me." That's an interesting desire. As Li Yang spoke, he collected Zhu Dajun's desire, then walked over to the table and poured the power of desire into the magic jar. As the dense power of desire flooded into the jar, the black mist gradually liquefied, turning into a desire potion. Li Yang poured out a small portion of the desire potion and handed it to Zhu Dajun. "It's a gift for you. Drink it." Zhu Dajun didn't hesitate for a second and downed the entire cup of desire potion in one go. A few minutes later, Zhu Dajun stared at his hands in shock. Droplets kept dripping from his hands onto the floor, which then turned into shadows until his entire body turned into a pool of shadow. Then the shadow slowly gathered together again and turned back into an almost transparent human figure. A piece of mysterious information entered Zhu Dajun's mind. The level 1 talent of Shadow Demon is Shadow Birth. It consumes mental power to devour the shadows of living creatures. Creatures whose shadows are devoured will lose physical strength, lifespan, and mental power. After absorbing the information, Zhu Dajun had a thought and transformed back into his human form. Then he knelt down and said respectfully, "You're the man, sir. From now on, you are a junior member of the Demon Club. Your membership card will be delivered to you by my apostle in a few days. You can leave now." After Ju Dajun left, Li Yang took out a notebook from his trench coat pocket and wrote the word apostle on it. The apostle is my spokesperson. Their status in the demon club must be higher than all other demons. Currently the Black Witch, Cerberus, and the Demon Crow can serve as my apostles. But these three demons are not human. They don't have identity documents for human society and know nothing about how human society works. I should have a human apostle, but not someone rich or powerful. The more ordinary their identity in human society, the better. 2 days later, Li Yang was in the living room, happily counting his account balance. That Ju Dajun is actually pretty capable. 100 million yuan was transferred to my bank card that fast. Now that I'm rich, it's time to think about moving to a bigger place. I need a place that's as quiet as possible and has enough space. After all, 4 demons crammed into a crowded old town is really inconvenient. Then Li Yang took the bus and arrived at a real estate agency called Aijia Housing. Isn't that Li Yang? He took the bus here. I told you he's not some rich second generation. I said that earlier and you didn't believe me. Fine, I was wrong. All right. The other woman adjusted her wavy curls, said perfunctorily, "These 2 beauties are Li Xiaohan and Chen Yuxi." At this moment, Li Xiaohan's boyfriend asked, "Who is Li Yang?" His voice a little jealous. Hearing this, Zhang Xiaohan quickly hugged the young man's arm and said coquettishly, "Darling, I'm not familiar with him at all. He's Chen Yuxi's classmate. Chen Yuxi said he was a rich second generation a few days ago, and that his family is super rich. But turns out he lives in the old town. He's just a good-for-nothing pretty boy." Meanwhile, Li Yang was carefully looking at a mural. The mural depicted several angels holding a holy cup, looking both ancient and mysterious. The membership cards of the Demon Club can take inspiration from this style. Just as Li Yang was thinking this, a voice suddenly interrupted his train of thought. "Hello? You're that broke loser classmate of Xiaohan's named Li Yang, right?" Li Yang frowned and looked at the person speaking. It was an unfamiliar young man. Along with Zhang Xiaohan and Chen Yuxi, Li Yang's gaze landed on Chen Yuxi. The aura of desire on her was still neither too strong nor too weak. At this moment, a middle-aged man in a suit walked over with a woman in professional attire. The middle-aged man bowed slightly and said, "Hello, I'm the sales director of Aijia Housing. My surname is Wu. Thank you for choosing Aijia. You have such excellent taste. That hillside villa will absolutely meet all your requirements. It's very quiet. Since you're paying in full, we'd like to give you a 200,000 yuan gas card as a gift." Li Yang said thank you. Then the middle-aged man bowed and left, not daring to disturb Li Yang any longer. However, Zhang Xiaohan and the other 2 were completely stunned on the spot. Hillside villa, and he's paying in full. How much does a hillside villa in Nanhai cost anyway? Even the young man from just now had a complete 180-degree change in attitude. Hello, Mr. Li. I'm from Bingcheng Wanhe Landscaping Company." But Li Yang completely ignored the hand the young man extended, and instead wore a gentle smile, and said to Chen Yuxi, "We meet again." As he spoke, Li Yang handed the 200,000 yuan gas card to Chen Yuxi. "You drove me home last time, and I haven't thanked you yet. This card is my way of returning the favor." Chen Yuxi was shocked when she saw this. He's just giving away a 200,000 yuan card like that. Right at this moment, Li Kuomen narrowed his eyes slightly, because he noticed that the aura of desire on Chen Yuxi was gradually getting stronger. Sure enough, Chen Yuxi's desire was probably related to vanity or something similar, so the power of desire can be nurtured too. At this thought, the corner of Li Yang's mouth curled into a smile. "Are you here to buy a house too?" After he said this, Zhang Xiaohan and the young man wished they could find a hole to crawl into. They were just mocking Li Yang a moment ago, and now they realized he's a real big shot. Chen Yuxi secretly glanced at her best friend, then sneakily looked at Li Yang again. Turns out my eye for people is really sharp. Chen Yuxi was enjoying this feeling a lot. Then she said teasingly, "I'm not the one buying. They are." Hearing this, Li Yang nodded, then took out his bank card. "They're both buying houses. It'd be a shame if you don't get one too. You know what? I have some extra cash lying around. I'll buy one for you." As soon as Li Yang finished speaking, everyone present couldn't believe their ears. What kind of ridiculously rich person is this? Even Chen Yuxi herself was stunned. No, that's not necessary. You noticed the aura of desire around Chen Yuxi, growing stronger and stronger. The smile on your lips also grew wider. "It's fine, I want to When Chen Yuxi finally got her property deed, she felt like all of this was just a dream. Her own dream was to own an apartment in Nanhai all along, and it came true so easily out of nowhere. What's more, it's a large flat apartment. How rich is Li Yang exactly? Chen Yuxi looked at Li Yang, having no idea what to say at all.
Li Yang,
Let me treat you to a meal. Maybe next time I have things to do today. Then let's add each other on WeChat. We're old classmates after all. We don't even have each other's WeChat. Hearing this, Li Yang took out his phone with a smile and added her on WeChat, then left the Iwu real estate office right after. Seeing this, Chen Yuxi hurriedly chased after him. The next day, in the meeting room of Lanhai Detai building, a stunning, cold-looking mature woman was sitting in the main seat. Tonight is the day I agreed to meet Lord Death. Everything must be handled with extreme caution. Thinking of this, Su Yutang looked at the secretary beside her. Remember, no one is allowed to come here today. Hearing this, the secretary nodded respectfully, then turned around and left. Su Yutang was a little excited inside. After witnessing the greatness of death last time, she became obsessed with this kind of supernatural power. So, what kind of amazing abilities will Death's apostle have? Time passed quickly, and it was soon evening. Su Yutang, who was sitting on the chair, suddenly heard someone knocking on the window. As if she thought of something, Su Yutang immediately stood up and walked towards the window. But when she opened the window, there was nothing there, only a crow pecking at the window. Disappointed, Su Yutang pulled the curtain back, getting ready to go back to her seat. But right at that moment, she heard the sound of dripping water. Su Yutang turned around, her beautiful eyes widening sharply. She saw the glass slowly melting, dripping onto the floor, and that crow flew into the room. The crow stood on the main table, staring at Su Yutang viciously. "How dare you blatantly lock this king outside the door?" Su Yutang looked at the crow in shock. She bowed hurriedly and said, "I have never seen the apostle's true form before. It's my fault for being blind. I apologize to your majesty." Hearing this, the crow looked at Su Yutang in surprise. "What did you call this king?" "Someone actually calls me your majesty. Someone actually acknowledges the status of the Black Dragon Emperor of my great Black Empire." But Su Yutang didn't think that way at all. She immediately corrected herself. "Please forgive me, your majesty." This move literally sent the crow over the moon. Then its gaze started to turn friendly. "Rise. I, the nameless Black Dragon Emperor, have come specifically to deliver the order of Lord Death." "Please speak, your majesty." "Don't be so formal. Lord Death only wants you to complete 2 trial tasks." Hearing this, Su Yutang was stunned for a moment. "Trial tasks?" "Yes. As long as you complete the tasks, you will be qualified to join the Demon Club and receive the power bestowed by Lord Death. The first task, Lord Death wants you to prepare a corpse and leave it in the northern suburban graveyard before midnight tomorrow. Remember, it has to be the corpse of the most vicious, evil person when they were alive. Second task, there is a man named Zhu Dajun in Nanhai. He was hunted down a few days ago and almost died. Lord Death orders you to find out the truth behind Zhu Dajun's assassination within a week, as well as who is the mastermind behind it. All right, that's all. This king likes you. So, I will put in a good word for you in front of my master." After the crow finished speaking, it flapped its wings and got ready to leave. Seeing this, Su Yutang hurriedly chased after it. "Wait a moment, your majesty." Hearing this, the crow stood by the window and turned around to look at Su Yutang in confusion. Su Yutang took off her bracelet worth 1,000,000 yuan and handed it to the crow. "It's a small token of my appreciation. Please accept it," she continued. "My birthday is in 2 days. The banquet will be held at the Nanhai International Exhibition Hall. If your majesty could honor me with your presence, it would be my greatest honor." The crow glanced at Su Yutang and said nothing, then flapped its wings and left. After the crow left, Su Yutang's brain started working rapidly. The corpse Death wants is definitely not an ordinary one. Did something happen in the prison? Thinking of this, Su Yutang dialed a phone number. "Hello, Warden Sun, sorry to bother you." On the other side, inside the villa, Yaoling took a pitiful look at Li Yao, who was sitting on the sofa watching TV. "Li Yang, can I use the tablet for a while?" "Make the membership card first, and I'll give the tablet back to you." The membership card Li Yang wants is not an ordinary one. It has to be impervious to water and fire, and not easy to tear. What's more, the patterns and words on the card can only be seen by demons, and the only one who can make this kind of card is a black witch using black magic. Yaoling wiped her tears aggrievedly. She regretted not practicing hard enough. Right now, she only has level 1 psychic power. It's way too hard for her to make this kind of card. But Li Yang didn't pay any attention to Yao Ling. He was thinking about the specific details of the Demon Club. The Demon Club needs a public-facing boss. Yao Ling, the crow, and the black dog are definitely out of the question. As for himself, he wants to keep a low profile as much as possible. Maybe find a living dead to be the puppet. Li Yang thought to himself. Then he turned to Yao Ling and asked, "Those dying, childless, and alone people I asked you to find. Did you find them?" "Yes, I did. They are all scattered around Nanhai. I'll write down the addresses for you later." But Li Yang fell silent. He needs a human apostle right now. But the people Yao Ling mentioned are scattered all over Nanhai. If he has to check them one by one, who knows when he'll find one? Maybe he should try his luck at the hospital. There are so many people suffering from illness and pain in the hospital. What if someone is suitable to be his apostle? The next day, at the first affiliated hospital of Nanhai Medical University, an ambulance stopped at the hospital entrance. Several nurses and doctors quickly moved the patient onto the stretcher and hurried towards the emergency room. "Out of the way! Out of the way! We have a severely burned patient." The nurse yelled at the top of her lungs as she ran. "I'm ruined," the man mumbled painfully. The head of surgery asked hurriedly, "What did you say?" "I should have run. I could have run away. I shouldn't have saved her. But I saw a little girl there. I couldn't help it." Hearing this, the head of surgery felt a deep respect for him. "You saved someone? You're a hero." "I'm not a hero at all. I want to get married. I'm getting married tomorrow." "You're getting married tomorrow. Where is the bride?" The man's breathing started to weaken gradually. "She's at the airport. I was supposed to pick her up. How did this happen? Why didn't I run?" After he said that, all the nurses present had red eyes. Tomorrow was supposed to be the most handsome day of his life. But to save a little girl he didn't even know, he ended up like this. The head of surgery knew the man couldn't be saved. He increased the dosage of the cardiac stimulant and said, "The bride is on her way. Let's go find her." "Doctor, it hurts so much. Am I going to die?" The head of surgery looked at the cold monitor screen, whispers guiltily. "No, don't let your mind run wild." He gasps hard for air. "Doctor, please. Please save me. I don't want to die. I want to get married." His name is Du Yangming. His parents passed away when he was young. He was raised by his grandmother. His grandmother also passed away when he was in secondary school. Now he works part-time to fund his studies. He cuts down on all daily expenses. Solely through his hard work, he finally became a capable, overworked teacher who can handle things independently. Right at this moment, the head of surgery's phone rings. It's the nurse sent to pick up the bride. The head of surgery holds the phone to Du Yangming's ear. Du Yangming tries his best to open his mouth. "Mingyu, I don't think I can wait for you anymore." The girl on the phone speaks through suppressed sobs. You definitely can wait for me. Just wait a little longer for me, okay? I'll be there right away." The man smiles upon hearing this. He closes his eyes gently. The head of surgery glances at the ECG monitor. He lets out a sigh. "Go prepare the mortuary paperwork." He turns around and leaves after saying that. A long time passes. Du Yangming opens his eyes again. He glances around. He is still in the emergency room. It felt like he just had a dream where he died. Right now, a doctor is silently watching him by the bedside. "Doctor, the pain doesn't feel as bad as before. Am I going to get better?" "No, you are going to die." "Then can I wait until she arrives?" "You can't," the doctor says coldly. The man stares at the ceiling in despair upon hearing this. "I don't want to die. I don't want to die." Living isn't hard. It depends on how you want to live. After the doctor speaks, the man senses a hidden meaning in his words. He says eagerly, "As long as I can live, I'll do anything." "Are you really willing to pay any price just to stay alive?" The doctor hears this, stands up slowly, and reveals his true form. The man's face is filled with horror at the sight. The doctor is not even human. Instead, he is a skeleton wearing a white lab coat and a surgical mask. Is this a hallucination or real? If it is real, then the Grim Reaper is here for me before I die. With that thought, the man can't wait to ask, "What price do I have to pay? No matter what it is, I will accept it." Li Yang takes out a jar upon hearing this. "You will lose the life of an ordinary person. You will turn into a demon that hides among humans and follows my orders at all times. Do you agree?" "I agree, as long as I can live anything is fine? After hearing his answer, Li Yang pours the desire potion from the wooden jar into the man's mouth. The potion contains this man's own desire. His desire is to stay alive. After the man drinks the potion, his heart starts beating again. The monitors connected to the man show. His vital signs are recovering. Right after that, a stream of mysterious information enters the man's mind. Vampire, favorite of the Grim Reaper. King of the Night. Master of black magic. Innate ability, blood siphon. Drinking blood increases your mental power. For a man with such severe burn injuries, turning into a vampire right now will allow you to recover quickly. But the man is not stupid enough to turn into a vampire inside the hospital. Li Yang plans to make this man his apostle. The reason is simple. He thinks very highly of this man. First, a dying person who can hang on this long purely by willpower is obviously someone with a strong mind. Second, even when he is on the brink of death, only his fiancée is rushing over to see him. That means he has a very small social circle. These 2 points combined are exactly what Li Yang is looking for. So Li Yang is not stingy with his apostle. He gives him all of the desire potion. After finishing all this, Li Yang vanishes in a flash. From the hospital, time moves on to evening. Right now, a swarm of bats is flying over Li Yang's villa. They land slowly and gather together, transforming into a human shape. The crow and black dog that were playing around both look towards the person at the door at the same time. Du Yangming senses a strange aura from the crow and the black dog. He knows that the crow and the black dog are just like him, not normal creatures. Du Yangming is a little nervous. Under the gaze of the crow and the black dog, he forces himself to walk through the villa gate. Inside the villa, Li Yang is sitting on the sofa at this moment, twisting a membership card between his fingers. This card was made by Yao Ling using black witchcraft as a black witch, and took her a whole day to make. It says First Shadow Demon on it, which means junior member. This card belongs to Zhu Dejun. Of course, the patterns and words on it are only visible to creatures with supernatural powers. Just then, Du Yangming walks in. When Li Yang sees him, he frowns and asks, "Why haven't your injuries healed yet? Vampires in the dark can recover quickly from even the worst injuries." But Du Yangming is clearly still seriously injured. Du Yangming doesn't dare to lift his head. "I can control my recovery speed. I'm afraid recovering too fast will make people notice something is wrong. Besides, these injuries are nothing to me right now." Li Yang no Diaz when he hears this. Du Yangming points at his ghostly hands and asks, "Master, what exactly is my situation right now? Why did you grant me this kind of power and give me a new life? You don't need to call me master. Just call me sir." "Yes, sir." "You should know very well what you are now. Let's just say I was soft-hearted for a moment and didn't want to take your soul. I happen to need someone to help me with some tasks. So from now on, you are my apostle." When Du Yangming hears this, his mouth opens slightly. Apostle of the Grim Reaper. "I actually became the messenger of the Grim Reaper just like that." Du Yangming quickly snaps back to his senses. He replies firmly, "Sir, whatever you need me to do, I will definitely get it done." After he speaks, Li Yang holds the membership card between his index and middle fingers and flicks it lightly, sending it flying into Du Yangming's hand. First, deliver this card to its owner. Not long after, in front of the Emperor nightclub, a strange man catches the doorman's attention. "Welcome to Emperor nightclub, sir. Are you here to see someone or—" Before he can finish his sentence, when the doorman sees the man's face under his hat and coat, he freezes. This person is none other than the vampire Du Yangming. He replies to the doorman coldly, "I'm here to see someone." The doorman swallows hard when he hears this. He reports to Feng Lang through the walkie-talkie that an honored guest has arrived and lets Du Yangming enter. A little while later, Du Yangming arrive at box 888. Zhu Dejun's hearty laugh rings out at this moment. "Ha ha ha. Come right in." Zhu Dejun immediately stands up from the sofa. But the moment he gets a good look at Du Yangming, his pupils shrink slightly. Because this man has no shadow. Zhu Dejun quickly hides his shock and greets him warmly. "I'm afraid I'll get you into unnecessary trouble, sir. I didn't come to greet you in person. I'm truly sorry." Seeing this, the waitress, a flash of horror crossed her eyes. Looking across the entire South Sea, who else is qualified to make President Zhu humble himself like this? She bowed respectfully, then left cautiously. As for Du Yangming, he was reluctant to look away. He glanced at the waitress's neck again and swallowed hard. He was starving. An overwhelming hunger was consuming him. Seeing this, Ju Dajun rolled his eyes thoughtfully, tapped his earpiece quietly, then sat down next to Du Yangming and asked in a low voice, "My Lord Envoy, what orders does that sir have for me?" Du Yangming took out a black card from his pocket. He said indifferently, "My master asked me to give this membership card to you." With that, Zhu Dejun quickly wiped his hands on his expensive suit, then took the card carefully. After becoming a demon, he possessed supernatural powers. He could see several big characters on the card that ordinary humans couldn't see. Shadow Demon. Zhu Dejun immediately realized what it meant. "It's the Demon Club." Du Yangming continued, "From now on, half of the Emperor nightclub will stay open for regular business. The other half will be a private space for members of the Demon Club. This will be the South Sea branch of the Demon Club from now on." Zhu Dejun mulled over Du Yangming's words and absorbed every bit of their meaning. Half of the Emperor nightclub is for regular business. That means the Demon Club wants to hide among humans and has no intention of exposing itself to the public. After all, if the Emperor nightclub suddenly closes down and is only used for private purposes, it will probably draw a lot of attention. Besides, this is the South Sea branch of the Demon Club. Does that mean there are many more demon clubs hidden around the world? The supernatural world has been right beside me all along. I just wasn't qualified enough to access that level before. If demons really exist in this world, then what about other supernatural creatures? And the legendary immortal cultivators? Do they really exist too? The thought made Zhu Dajun's blood boil with excitement. Then Du Yangming added, "One more most important thing. Prepare a comfortable suite for my master." Zhu Dajun was stunned for a moment when he heard this. "Do I still have a chance to meet that great being? Do you know how exalted my master's status is? If he deigns to come here, it will be your greatest honor. He may not even come here, but we must have a residence ready for him regardless." With that, Du Yangming stood up and left the place. "All right, I should get going too. Do your job well." It was 1 a.m. outside the North Suburb Cemetery. Li Yang and Crow arrived here. Crow leaned close to Li Yang and whispered a few words, telling Li Yang where Su Yutang had hidden the corpse. Then Li Yang walked towards the place where the corpse was stored. It was inside a mound grave right in the center of the cemetery. Following the mysterious memories in his mind, Li Yang began preparing the ritual to create a wraith. He drew a magic circle nearby and chanted obscure incantations under his breath, along with the eerie wind blowing from the grave mounds. The incantations drifted into the mound grave. Soon, sounds came from inside the mound grave. It sounded like someone was knocking on the coffin lid again and again. Right after that, a pale hand covered in wood chips broke through the soil. But just then, Li Yang's ears twitched. He quickly looked behind him. "Someone is coming." Li Yang narrowed his eyes. He ordered Crow, "Go find Su Yutang." Hearing the order, Crow spread its wings and hurried towards the city. Li Yang, on the other hand, walked deeper into the cemetery. At this moment, a man and a woman were standing outside the North Suburb Cemetery. "Hey everyone, look! This is where we're streaming tonight!" The North Suburb Cemetery, the most haunted yin-charged place in the entire South Sea. Fight against feudal superstition starts with me. Tonight, Lele, will be a ghost hunting streamer and show you all the supposedly scariest North Suburb Cemetery. I'll prove to you all that there are no ghosts in this world. After the female streamer finished speaking, the cameraman cooperated by panning the lens across the North Suburb Cemetery and gave a close-up shot of the mound grave. Maybe it's because of the hype around the North Suburb Cemetery. This gimmick is way too eye-catching. The number of viewers in the live stream suddenly exploded, growing by hundreds every second. Seeing this, the female streamer was overjoyed inside. "Streamer, I advise you not to do this. This place is super haunted. I was bitten to death by a zombie here when I was a kid. I bet something's gonna happen tonight." The streamer probably hired actors to pretend to be ghosts later to scare people. Seeing the skeptical comments in the bullet screen, Lele quickly explained, "Don't worry everyone. Tonight's stream is 100% real." With that, she pointed to a wooded area in the cemetery and explained, "Many people say they've seen ghosts here. Those are all unscientific rumors. But I'm standing right here now. Why hasn't the ghost come to me? If it doesn't dare come to me, then I'll go find it." Holy shit, just then, the cameraman's face was filled with shock. "What's wrong with you?" The cameraman pointed shakily to the side. "Look over there." The female streamer looked in the direction the cameraman was pointing. Her pupils suddenly constricted. About 100 meters away, a man was standing with his back to her, standing perfectly straight, twitching every now and then. The female streamer glanced back at the live stream comments. That guy is really dedicated. His twitches are so rhythmic. This is such great content for a midnight stream. That's not one of our actors. I promise if you all don't believe me, me and the cameraman will go over there and talk to that guy. Then you'll all know if this is a script or not. The cameraman hesitated for a moment when he heard this. Lele, do we really have to go this far? If we don't go over to interview him,
Everyone will think this is a script.
look at the stream. We finally got this many viewers. What did we come here in the middle of the night for? You don't want all our efforts to go to waste, do you? With that, the female streamer walked behind the strange man. Hello, sir. Sorry to bother you. I'm really sorry. We're doing a live stream right now. Would you mind answering a few questions for us? The man slowly turned his head, revealing a terrifyingly pale face. His eyes were hollow and lifeless. He didn't say a word. Just stood there blankly, twitching occasionally. The confused female streamer turned around. Her mouth slowly fell open. The scene in front of her hit her like a thunderbolt. Her microphone slipped out of her hand and fell to the ground. The monster was swaying slowly. All the joints in its body were twisted unnaturally. It slowly opened its mouth and roared loudly at Lele and the cameraman. That hoarse, strange roar almost scared the female streamer out of her wits. Her legs were shaking uncontrollably. She turned around and ran away with the cameraman immediately. She looked back once. The monster was just staring at them eerily. It had no intention of chasing after them. What the female streamer and the cameraman didn't know was, it wasn't that the monster didn't like killing. It was because the monster was still in the process of turning into a wraith. If it had already absorbed all the yin energy in the cemetery by then, the female streamer and the cameraman would definitely not have survived. Not long after, the wraith finally absorbed all the yin energy in the area. It looked towards the depths of the cemetery. Its appearance gradually returned to that of a normal corpse. Then it knelt on one knee and bowed its head respectfully. Li Yang slowly walked out of the darkness. Li Yang snapped his fingers. A cloud of black shadow appeared under the wraith's feet. The dark shadow formed a profound array made of runes. Then the undead's body slowly sank downward and entered another dimension. Now it was time to test Su Yutang. At the same time, inside Ditai building Nanhai, Su Yutang was sitting on the sofa. Her brows were tightly furrowed. Last time, His Majesty the Black Dragon assigned her 2 tasks. The first task, to find the corpse of the most vicious and heinous criminal. The second task, to find out the truth behind Ju Dajun being hunted down. These 2 seemingly ordinary tasks actually hid a secret agenda. The criminal corpse offered to the god of death was Chen Shui. Chen Shui was a half-Japanese hybrid. He was an out-and-out desperado. He had committed multiple crimes all over the world. As for the second task, she used her connections and found out about another Japanese man, Kuroki Misawa. The name Kuroki Misawa was not unfamiliar to Su Yutang. He once approached her to discuss a cooperation related to biological experiments, but she turned him down because that project would cause uncontrollable bacterial contamination. It seemed that this Kuroki Misawa was indeed not as simple as he appeared. Just then, there was a tapping sound on the window. Su Yutang's expression changed and quickly pulled open the curtain, only to see a sparrow fly into the room. His Majesty's order. The location for erasing demon traces is North Suburban Cemetery. With that said, the sparrow flapped its wings and flew away. After the sparrow left, Su Yutang frowned. Is this another test? Thinking of this, Su Yutang took out her phone. Xiaowang, come to my room. The next morning, inside Dajun Culture Media Co-Ars Ltd., the female host Lele was chasing after her supervisor, speaking anxiously. Supervisor, I've got a huge scoop. The supervisor was a little surprised when he heard that. Tell me, what scoop is that? We filmed a ghost. I got it. You can leave now. After hearing the news, the supervisor's face was full of disappointment as he brushed her off perfunctorily. Seeing that the supervisor didn't believe her, Lele quickly added, last night, we were live streaming at the North Suburban Cemetery. We really saw it. But that thing last night was so terrifying. We left our filming equipment at the North Suburban Cemetery. My cameraman went to look for it this morning, but he didn't find it. Oh, right. Lots of people in the live stream saw it last night, too. Seeing how serious Lele was, the supervisor took out his phone half-doubtingly. But after fiddling with it for a few minutes, the supervisor's face immediately turned unhappy. If what you said is true, in this age of information explosion, there would definitely be tons of posts about the North Suburban Cemetery online right now. But from last night till now, there's not a single mention of the haunting at the North Suburban Cemetery online. If you're trying to fool me, you should at least hire an actor to play the ghost first. Hearing this, Lele, her face paled drastically. The supervisor is right. Logically speaking, there should be loads of news about the haunting at the North Suburban Cemetery online by now. But why isn't there any related information online? Thinking of this, Lele's face grew more and more terrified. Call the police. I have to call the police. With that, she hurriedly left the company. But not long after, Lele was dejected. As she walked out of Qingshan Psychiatric Hospital, the reason was simple. She went to the Public Security Bureau to report the case, but the officers didn't believe her nonsense about seeing a ghost. Lele was very frustrated right now. Why doesn't anyone believe her? She tugged at her hair in distress. Am I really mentally ill? But just then, an old voice came. Little girl, you're in trouble, aren't you? How about this old Taoist give you a fortune reading? Lele turned her head to look. She saw a slovenly old Taoist holding a fortune-telling banner, standing at the alley entrance. Lele's eyes lit up. She quickly walked up to the Taoist master. You don't have to say anything. I'll know everything soon. With that, the old Taoist started doing calculations on the spot. Then, under Lele's expectant gaze, he spoke slowly, little girl. You have a dark shadow between your eyebrows. You must have encountered something strange. You ran into something unclean last night, didn't you? Hearing this, Lele nodded her head repeatedly like a chick pecking at rice. Master, do you think that thing will come after me again? The old Taoist continued his calculations. He hissed, Weird. If you ran into something unclean, your fortune and luck should be reduced by rights. But why do you have such a deep connection with the divine? Little girl, your fate is extraordinary. What you met last night might not be something unclean, but a god? Your fate is incredibly precious. At this point, Lele almost burst into tears. She went through such a terrifying thing last night, and no one believed her today. Only a Taoist mystic she used to look down on believes her. Lele glanced back at Qingshan Hospital and said indignantly, Who's the crazy one here, really? Seeing this, the old Taoist chuckled and said, Mentally ill people just have a different worldview from others. Most people can't stand a small group of people having a different worldview from theirs, so they make up excuses to lock those people up, that's all. Hearing this, Lele felt a deep respect for the old Taoist. Even though she didn't understand what he was talking about, it sounded really impressive. But just then, the two officers who had sent Lele for the psychiatric evaluation earlier happened to pass by this alley and saw Lele. Why haven't you left yet? Can't you get a taxi? We can drop you off. No need to trouble you. I need to have a word with the master first. Hearing this, the officers looked at the old Taoist suspiciously. Suddenly, a roar came from the depth of the alley. Damn it. Give me back my damn clothes. Yes, you... Don't run. Officers, catch that lunatic. From the depth of the alley, a shirtless old man was running towards them while rubbing his head, pointing at the old Taoist with a furious look on his face. When the old Taoist in front of Lele saw this scene, his expression also changed drastically and was about to turn and run, but the two officers beside him didn't give him a chance to escape and quickly pinned the old Taoist down. During the struggle, the old Taoist's robe was pulled off, revealing a piece of patient gown printed with the logo of Qingshan Hospital underneath. Seeing this scene, Lele, the corner of her mouth twitched. What the hell is going on here? Meanwhile, the old Taoist kept struggling and yelled at Lele, Little girl, learn to cultivate immortality with me. You have such a deep connection with the divine.